If you like what you're watching, smash that like button and give us 1,000 likes or more. Fastlane 2021 is officially in the books, and now WWE is looking to their next big show, WrestleMania 37. Set to happen on April 10th and 11th, there's only 3 episodes of Raw between now and the show, and WWE will need to make every show count. With that in mind, here are 6 things WWE could pull off during tonight's Raw. Number 6. Braun Strowman faces the music. At Fastlane, Braun Strowman was ready to demolish Shane McMahon after weeks of torment, but a training injury that looked very sus prevented these plans. Instead, McMahon chose Elias as his replacement, much to the dismay of the former 24/7 champion, and Strowman squashed Elias at the pay-per-view. With Elias out of the picture, Strowman will be wanting to get his hands on Shane, but Shane won't make this easy. As the prodigal son of WWE, Shane still has influence, and he could use that to make Strowman's life a living hell, or at least keep him away. Shane could even come up with some phony reason to have Strowman suspended, perhaps claiming that the monster among men used excessive force during his Fastlane match in his efforts to avoid having to face Braun. WWE has tried to make Shane as unlikable as possible with his weird promos and stupid Express t-shirt, and WWE definitely needs to keep this going before the pair finally collide at WrestleMania. Number 5. Rhea Ripley's Raw debut comes with a huge push. Nearly 2 months after her main roster call-up, Rhea Ripley will finally debut on tonight's episode of Raw, much to the delight of countless fans. Even those who don't watch NXT caught a glimpse of the Australian last year when she defended the NXT Women's title against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 36. It's certainly interesting that Ripley's debut comes just days after WWE removed Charlotte from the WrestleMania poster, fueling speculation that the Queen won't be facing Raw Women's Champion Asuka at WrestleMania as previously rumored. Given that she was the last woman eliminated in the Women's Rumble match, perhaps Ripley will be challenging the Empress at Mania instead, in what'd be a huge push for the woman many are calling Raw's answer to SmackDown's Bianca Belair. If not Charlotte Flair, then only Peyton Royce seems to fit the bill as a possible opponent for Asuka at WrestleMania, though many would argue that she's not ready for such a big spot just yet. Despite being the newest Raw superstar, Ripley has more credibility in big-time singles matches than Royce, and it's entirely possible that she'll receive a monumental title push when she debuts tonight. Number 4. Sheamus re-enters the title picture. At Fastlane 2021, the Sheamus-Drew McIntyre feud came to a definitive end, when the Scotsman bested his former friend in a no-holds-barred match, and now turns his attention to WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and WrestleMania. This does mean that Sheamus is without a dance partner for this year's biggest show, but that could all change tonight. With Keith Lee still absent, the spot for a US title challenge at WrestleMania remains vacant, and that's a spot Sheamus could fill perfectly. Whether that means Sheamus dethrones Riddle at WrestleMania to become a 3-time US champion is unclear, but after months of everything he touches turning to gold, the Celtic Warrior deserves to be rewarded with a title match at WrestleMania, which could be built towards on tonight's edition of Raw. Number 3. The Hurt goes out of business. At WrestleMania, WWE Champion Bobby Lashley will defend his title against Drew McIntyre, and the Almighty would be a fool not to be focused on facing the 2-time former world champion. Arguably the biggest match of Lashley's career, the champ needs to be laser-focused on this match, and that's why he could sever ties with the Hurt Business tonight. Severing ties with Shelton, Cedric, and MVP would show how determined Lashley is about his Mania match, but it's something we hope doesn't happen. MVP has been a crucial part of his run over the past 2 months, and the entire Hurt Business has been universally praised by fans. But knowing WWE's logic, it's not out of the realm of possibility for the company to disband the group tonight. Number 2. AJ Styles and Omos quietly turn face. It was after New Day dethroned Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander for the Raw Tag Team titles that the new champions were confronted by Omos and AJ Styles, with a phenomenal one challenging the New Day to a match at WrestleMania. This is a match we expect WWE to confirm very soon, and whilst it'll be a fun match and will also be Omos's in-ring debut on the main roster, we expect Benjamin and Alexander to continue to pursue the Raw Tag Team titles. If this is the case, a surprise would be AJ Styles and Omos quietly turning face, and Styles could add the goofy heelish elements to his babyface character as well. As a heel or a face, Styles has worked well in WWE, and a confrontation with the former Raw Tag Team Champions could be what turns the Phenomenal One face again. Number 1. The Fiend becomes a loner again. For the past few months, there's been fewer superstars more important than Alexa Bliss, who has carried the Fiend's rivalry with Randy Orton by herself, following Wyatt being burned at TLC 2020. Last night, Bliss's hard work culminated in the return of the Fiend during her match with the Viper, as Wyatt returned with a new look and mask, looking even creepier than before. Needless to say, this will be an interesting Raw to watch, but with Bliss's purpose now served, what is WWE to do with the former Women's Champion? We're not thrilled on the idea, but it's possible that WWE could have Wyatt become a bigger heel and abandon Bliss now that she has served her purpose and resurrected him from the fire. As his weapon of destruction for the past few months, we've loved this darker side of Bliss, but it's entirely possible that could end tonight. What'd follow is Bliss transitioning back to reality, perhaps with the help of her former tag team partner Nikki Cross. And if WWE wants this version of Bray Wyatt to be darker than ever before, having him turn on the woman who served him loyally for months would definitely make it clear that this Fiend is nothing like fans have ever seen before. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.